Hi, this is Mr. Barr, and we are going to approximate some complex square roots today. Got this good-looking Highland cow for our animal. Our learning goal: I can work with the entire real number system. Why? There are a bunch of numbers out there besides 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I need to be able to use. Today you're going to estimate the values of more complex square roots. Why? Once again, estimating in general is a good life skill to have. Helps you not get ripped off in life, helps you to weed out truth from fiction. We may also see that our initial math instincts are wrong, and we have to make sure that they don't lead us down a bad path. So let's start with a review of how to find the square root of 41. So let's start our notes with our name and the title for today, which is Approximating Complex Square Roots. So start with your name on your notes. And our title, which is, let me get a marker that works here. Approximating Complex Square Roots. Square roots should be 2 words. And we're going to start with a review, and we're going to do the square root of 41. So to find the square root of 41, I start by going into the neighborhood and finding its neighbors. So the square root of 41, one of its neighbors is 36 and the other one is 49. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 49 is 7. 41 is somewhere in between. Is it closer to the 6 or is it closer to the 7? Well, it's 5 away from the 6, right? 5 away from the 6, and it's 8 away from the 7. So it's a little bit closer to the 6. So let's put it at maybe a 6.4. So we just approximated the square root of 41. That's review from the last lesson. But now we need to approximate the value of 25 minus 4. The square root of 25 minus 4. Now I think as you're looking at this, you might want to just take the square root of 25 and take the square root of 4. But that is the wrong thing to do. What we're actually going to do first is the subtraction. So 25 minus 4, it becomes the square root of 21. And now I'm going to go into the neighborhood and find the square root of 25. Or excuse me, square root of 21. So let's go into our neighborhood and find the square root of 21. Who are his neighbors? His neighbors are the square root of 16 and the square root of 25. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 25 is 5. So the square root of 21 is somewhere in between. You know what? This is 5 away from 16 and 4 away from 25. So it's a little bit closer to the 25, which means it's a little bit closer to the 5. So I'd put it at maybe a 5. 5.5 is right in the middle. Let's put it at 5.6. But really the whole lesson occurred right there. We had to simplify it down before we went into the neighborhood. I know some of you want to take the square root of 25 and the square root of 4, but don't do that. Don't go down the bad path. How about this one? Do you want to add the numbers together first and then take the square roots, or take the square roots and add? Correct answer, take the square roots. It's a little bit different than the one we just did. back into our notes. So we're going to find the square root of 25 plus the square root of 9. I don't add. I take the square roots first, and then I add. So this is going to be 5 plus 3, which is 8. So sometimes you have to add first. Sometimes you have to do the square roots first. Let's look at another one. Here, what do you want to do? Do you want to take the square roots or do you want to add first? Add or square roots first? Well, let's do this one in our notes. So we have the square root of 36 plus the square root of 4, or we have the square root of 36 plus 4. Here, it's going to be square root, then add. This one's going to be add, then square root. So this is 6 plus 2, which is 8. This is the square root of 40. This is a neighborhood, isn't it? Well, let's go into the neighborhood. Square root of 40, square root of 49, square root of 36. This is going to put us at somewhere between 6 and 7, and it's a little bit closer to 6. So let's put it at about 6.4. Okay, I think that's going to be it for the notes. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's do some together. Our notes are done. So what did we have in our notes today? We had our title, approximating square roots, probably about a page of notes, a couple examples. Now we're just going to do some practice. This is not notes. The notes are done. Now we're just practicing together. I'm still here, just getting my computer ready to do some practicing. So this one right here, there we go. Okay. So this guy, what I'm going to do first, I am going to add the numbers together and then take the square root. So the square root of 40 plus 9, this is the square root of 49, and the square root of 49 is 7. Let's do another one. This one. This one I have to take the square roots first, and then add it together. Okay, so we got to find the square root of 40. Square root of 40, okay. Square root of 40. Let's go into the neighborhood. 49, 36. Is somewhere between 6 and 7. Square root of 40 is a little bit closer to the 6. So let's take this to about a 6.4. So there's one of our numbers. Square root of 9 is a 3. So let's add these together. 6.4 plus 3 takes me to, is that 9.4? Let's do another one. Do you want to take the square roots first, or do you want to add and subtract first? Well, we're going to add and subtract first. So 25... Actually, I'm going to start with this. What's 8 minus... 9 minus 8 is 1. So this whole thing right here becomes a 1. So this is 25 plus 1, so it's 26. So I'm going to find the square root of 26. Let's find its neighborhood. There's his neighborhood. So it's somewhere between 5 and 6. And it's actually much, much closer to the 5, isn't it? So I'm going to put it at about 5.1. 5.1 on that one. Let's see, I think I have another couple examples here. Okay. So we're going to find the square root of each one. And then we'll add the answers together. So 28, let's see, so square root of 28. Here's his neighborhood, 25, 36, somewhere between 5 and 6. It's closer to the 5. Let's put it at about 5.3. That's not a very good 5, is it? Let's try that again. 5.3. And my 15, well, it's going to be 9, 15, 16. So it's between 3 and 4, but it's really, really close to the 4, isn't it? So let's put it at a 3.9. So we've got a 5.3 and a 3.9. We'll add those together. $9.2. I think it's 9.2. You know, I'm going to do it with my calculator just to see. You know what? Let's just see how close we got. I said 9.2. We'll use a calculator here and see what happens, though. Let's just check it. Square root of 28 plus the square root of 15. 9.16. 9.2 is a pretty good estimate. I like that estimate. Not too bad, Mr. Barr. Okay. Let's clear out those drawings. Do another example here. Oh, look at all that. All right. Let's simplify that thing down. 60 minus, well, I'm going to start right here. Negative 12 plus 3, that's negative 9, right? So 60 minus 9, 60 minus 9 is 51. So what we're really doing is the square root of 51. Let's go into the neighborhood. Square root of 49, square root of 64. It's between 7 and 8. And it's a lot closer to the 7. It's a lot closer. Let's just put this at about a 7.2. I think it's a good estimate for that one. Right, this one, let's start with the square root of 60 and then the square root of 25, and then we'll subtract the two. Square root of 60, I have to go into the neighborhood because I don't know the square root of 60. Let's see, square root of 64, square root of 49. It's somewhere between 7 and 8. It's closer to the 8 though. Let's put it at about 7.8. And the square root of 25 is 5. So it's going to be 7.8 minus 5, which takes us to, what's 7 minus 5? 2.8? 2.8. I'm going to check it with a calculator. Square root of 60 minus the square root of 25. 2.74. This is a good estimate. Good job. I feel like I have one more example here. Oh my goodness, look at that craziness. Okay, let's do this one. So this becomes, oh wow, you know this isn't bad at all. This is the square root of 100, isn't it? Which is 10 minus the square root of 25, which is 5, plus the square root of 48. Okay, this is a neighborhood. So 48, 49, 36. So it's between 6 and 7. It's really, really close to the 7. So let's call it a 6.9. So I have a 6.9, a 10, and a negative 5. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5. Plus 6.9 is 11.9. Let's just check it with the calculator. Square root of 100 minus the square root of 25 plus the square root of 48. 11.9. 11.9. Good job. All right, hey, that's my video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.